Hey guys, Devall here. Last week I introduced a new little series that unfortunately is going to be short-lived, mostly because there's a finite amount of what I have, and that series being the retro video reviews. Basically what these are the original videos that I created and put together almost 10 years ago now, when myself and Pixel Dan had co-created that new toy smell. These videos have been lingering on a hard drive. Most of them can't really be found anymore on YouTube, as they were kind of scrubbed. But I got excited and wanted to re-release these because I think they're still fun. I think there's still a lot of great value there and a lot of great information. Again, the videos are 10 years old. I'm presenting them here as they are, warts and all, sound issues, video issues. This is how we did things 10 years ago. And things have changed, a lot's come along, technology, equipment, so on and so on. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of information on why these were getting released, and mostly just because I want to. So, with that in mind, take a look here at the second episode that I'm releasing to you in this finite series. This one taking a look at Ideal's failed series, Manglors. Check it out.
Alright, show of hands. How many remember Manglors? Wow. Really? Really, guys? None of you? Huh. Alright. Here's the thing. The 80s was such an amazing time for toy lines and such a cool time to be a kid. Every time you walked into a store, you got this amazing rush of never knowing what new hot toy line was going to be right around the corner to entice you into begging your parents to get for you. Now, the Manglors was one of those awesome lines that really didn't last long, but really made a huge impact. How long did it last, you ask? How about 6 figures and a playset? Now, the Manglors was produced and released by the then recently purchased Ideal Toys. You see, in 1982, they were purchased by CBS. Yeah, the very same television network, CBS, and were rebranded as CBS Toys. Now, CBS didn't mingle in the toy industry long. In 1985, they actually backed out of the business altogether and went back to, honestly, what they did best. All right, folks. Okay, anyway, sorry for the history lesson. Let's get back to the line. Now, the line was originally called Sorbos, but by Toy Fair of the year they were released, the name had changed, so Ideal settled upon the now classic Manglors. Now, the Manglor line featured a unique play feature, but now I wasn't about to show you that play feature with the only figure I actually personally own, so here, check out this commercial real quick. This will show you everything about it.
Throughout time, people have asked, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Maybe it was a Manglor, like Manglor Demon. You can pretend to hatch Manglor Dragon and Manglizard, too, each sold separately in a make-believe egg. You can stretch them, squash them, take them apart. They'll return almost like new to their original forms. So if you want to hatch up some fun, you can crack open a Manglor. The Manglors, Manglor Demon, Manglor Dragon, and Manglizard, each sold separately from Ideal.
Okay, so you see, they had an interesting action feature. I mean, you could rip them apart and they would stick back together, allowing you to rip several characters apart and create your own Manglor. Now, the series consisted of Manglosaurus, Manglodactyl, Manglord, Manglor Demon, Manglor Lizard, and Manglor Dragon, as well as the Manglor Mountain playset, which was the line's only playset. Now, these figures came packaged in a small window box with the figure inside of a plastic egg. Now, the eggs served two purposes here. One, they were, well, nice to display and to set next to the figures. They were also there for you to store the Manglors in when you were done with them, so honestly, they didn't dry out. The figures also had display stands packaged with them because these figures do not stand on their own. Trust me. Now, the Manglord himself came packaged 3 different ways. In the small window box, in a larger style box with no window, and of course in the Manglor Mountain playset. This was the only figure that was available in a few different versions, as the rest of the line was only available in these window boxes. Now, the other amazing thing about this line was the striking artwork created for the line that was all done by artist Ken Kelly, who was the same artist who did the artwork for the Kiss album, The Destroyer. Now, the artwork on Manglore Mountain playset alone is remarkable. I mean, this really is a true testament to eye-catching graphics from the 80s. Back then, more so than now, you really had to stand out on a shelf to get a kid's attention. This box really does just that. I mean, the front of the thing is just amazing. Art like this on a box is hard to see these days with today's packaging. It still happens very rarely. Turning the box over to the side, we find some great details of what exactly you could do with both the mountain and the Manglord inside. Now, these images are in black and white, but they're still a pleasure to see, as you can tell they were hand-drawn for the box. Now, the back shows you the characters out of Wave 1 and really tells you a brief backstory on the whole line. Once again, as I keep pointing out, the art here is amazing. I mean, there are no photos on this box, gang. On a side note, I'd love to find someone with the original proofs for this box just for my personal collection. So if anyone out there, you give old Devall a ringy-dingy. Manglore Mountain has been the only piece of this line I've ever owned, and the version I own now is actually the third time I've owned this playset in my life. I'm 32, so do the math. Now, Manglore Mountain is probably one of the most uninteresting playsets honestly ever designed. I mean, you literally place Manglord into his Iron Maiden, he gets lowered into the mountain, and then by pressing the tongue on the gargoyle, he rises out of the depths to the mountain to reveal himself. And that's it. Now, the mountain is awesome to look at, even though it's just a giant rock with a big old gargoyle face on it. The other feature of the mountain was the Manglava, which at one time was actually a large bag of ooze. Unfortunately, my sealed bag of Manglava has mostly solidified over the years. But the idea was you place the ooze in the top of the mountain, lower the Manglord in his cage into the mountain, and when he's raised to the top, he'd be covered in this ooze. As I said at the start, the line didn't last long. But while it didn't last long enough to create a third series of figures, this line still brings a smile to most toy collectors when you mention it. Well, as for the rest of you, I hope I've enlightened you a little bit to the mystique and the amazement of Ideal's legendary Manglore line.